Hey folks, welcome back to another little mailbag, and we're going to do a little mini shoot off too between three different devices that I have here. Well, I'm hoping that I'm going to get the third one in this mail. I think I am, according to the waybills that I received. Okay, so what's this first one here? This first one here, it's a kit. I recognize it from the ordering page. No instructions at all, but it's very simple. It's just a whole pile of LEDs. You got a switch, a power connector, an IC, and a couple of headers. And that's it. It should be easy to put together. So I'm just going to drop that into the box of kits. All right. Another one here. Yeah, these are more of those little test points that I had before. I decided to get a bunch of different colors that make them mean something, I guess. So we got orange, green, blue, white, and yellow to go along with the black and red that we already have. These are not very exciting, but they will come in handy. As usual, I'll leave links to everything down in the description there, and you guys can go and see if these are useful to you or not. But they do actually come in handy. They're great especially for attaching scopes. The little hook probes of scopes and other little hook probes of various kinds. They're great for that. Okay, what do we have here? This one actually looks like it's been opened. It's got tape on it. Maybe Canada Post thought it was suspicious looking or something. Okay, so this here, USB multifunction tester. This is going to be our shootout. I've got three of these. Look, what's this here? Oh, a certificate. It's certified. This is a Kausi. Kausi? No, Kawisi. This one says Kausi and that says Kawisi. Maybe they're the same thing. Okay, this one's got some information on it. Voltage DC 4 to 30 volts. Okay. Current 0 to 6.5 amps. That's probably a reset button there. Okay, we'll test that. We'll test this out a little bit more. Like it I don't know, has that got a film on it or something? Because it looks like it's been rolled around in the back of a truck. I'll worry about that later. But yeah, we'll test this out in a minute when I get all three of them out. Let's see what else is in the mailbag first before we move on. This is the last item. Okay, it's just another kit. And I forgot even what this one does. Oh, I do know what this one does. This is an LED VU meter. Somebody had requested I do a kit on one of those, or a VU meter, but I picked up this little LED VU meter. We'll build that up someday soon and try it out. It goes in my bag of kits. We have this one here we received today. We have this one received a little while ago. It's from the same manufacturer. It doesn't seem to have all the same features. Like, there's no specifications on this one whatsoever. I've got in and out. That's good. Good to know that. See-through. I don't know if that's a feature or not. It's got a reset button up here. And then I have this one. This one I got some time ago. It's a Uni-T one. I think they still make this one, but they also make a much better one now. They have three different models of the new one, USB-A, USB-C, or both USB-A and USB-C. And that fancy one runs around about $25. And off the top of my head. That must be Canadian dollars. So $20, $18, $19 US. But this I think was around $14 or $15 when I got it a few years back. I don't know if the price has changed. So okay, we're gonna try and test these here. So I've got to set up a test arrangement for them. What I thought I would do is try and like run half an amp through them. That's kind of a typical load, and see if what they record over a period of time. Let's say 6 minutes, which is a tenth of an hour. See if the amp hour rating on them matches. See if they agree on the voltages and so forth. It's just got to get a couple of little things like meters set up to measure current and voltage and stuff like that. And we'll come right back and we'll run a little test on it. All right, so this is our test setup here. I've got this USB hub here. This is a USB hub that I've kind of modified so that it passes power through it a lot better. So it should minimize the voltage drop. Also got this heavy cable on it. Now that's going up to a power supply, which we'll use to set the voltages and supply current. And I've got this meter here set to measure the current through the resistor. And this is a 10 ohm 100 watt resistor here, hooked up to this little USB plug. And then we've got our 3 devices under test. And what we'll do is we'll set them up to try and get as close as possible to a half amp going through this resistor here. We'll compare that to what is read here by the device, and we'll run them for exactly 6 minutes. Whatever is going through it, actually going through it, so if it's half an amp, after 6 minutes, then it should come up with 500 milliamp hours, or I should say 50 milliamp hours of power usage. Let's get started. Let's have a look at the devices as we go along too. So let me plug this one in here. Turn it on and have a look at it. So yeah, this one has got it's got 10 different memories, and that's really nice. So if you're working on 10 different things, you can keep track of them, and they collect the results and go back and record them. That's really handy. And it doesn't have time at all, so it's got it tells you which memory you're working on, the current you're using, the voltage coming through, and the milliamp hours after a period of time. It's also got this nice little dongle on it here. I like that a lot. That's a very handy feature, because sometimes the USB ports that you're working with just aren't in a handy place, and this makes it very nice. So it's got some nice features. Now it says we're at 4.97 volts. So we have to go by the voltage here. I got no really reasonable way to probe the voltage. If I had another one of these, I could hook up another meter to it right beside that. But we're going to go by the device itself as to what the actual voltage is that it's reading. So I'm going to adjust the power supply so that comes up to 5.0. Yeah, close enough. So it's saying that it's putting 0.49 amps through, and the meter is agreeing with it completely. So that's pretty good. This seems to be fairly accurate as far as the current is concerned. I'm going to trust it on the voltage. I've got to trust each one of them on the voltage. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this, turn it off, and then we'll turn it on and start the stopwatch at the same time and let it go for exactly 6 minutes and see what this meter here comes up with. So let's reset it. And turn it off, and then turn it on when we start this. Okay, see you back in 6 minutes. Okay, so the Uni-T tested out to 47 milliamp hours, so it's off by 2 milliamp hours. That's pretty good. What's that, about 5%? Yeah. So that's not too bad at all. And it did measure the current accurately, even if it came up a little bit short of the actual energy use. Okay, well, let's put this one aside and get the other one hooked up, and we'll get started with that. Okay, set the current up, set the voltage. So we've got to lower the voltage just a little bit. Okay, with 5 volts going through this one here, we've got this meter showing 490 milliamps, which is exactly the same as we had the Uni-T when it was reading 5 volts. And we do have a discrepancy here though. This is only reading 460 milliamps, whereas the Uni-T read 490 milliamps. So the Uni-T was in agreement with this meter, this one is not. Okay, so let's do the same test with this one. We'll reset it and start it on its way. So let's reset it here, turn it off, and then turn it on for 6 minutes. All right. So I noticed was as that was running, it was keeping pretty good time with the stopwatch. It does tell you the run time. But one thing it didn't tell us was where it was in that minute. So it's accurate, but not very precise. Okay, so this showed 46 milliamp hours, which is worse than what the Uni-T did by a couple of milliamp hours. But other than that, I mean, it is pretty nice looking display on it. You know, 4 colors there. You're into that. Compared to the Uni-T, it's less accurate in both the energy used and in the current. 2 strikes down for it. However, you should keep in mind that this was about $14 or so, and this was a couple of dollars. But I'll put a link in it down there. I don't know if it's still on the buy 3 things for $1.99 each sale or not, but that's what I got it on, and this is $14 or $15. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Alrighty. So let's set this one up. Bring it up to 5 volts there. But we'll call that 5 volts. Okay, it's coming up at 0.47 amps, and this is saying 0.495. So it's about as accurate as this one, a little bit less accurate than this one. And then we'll start it up and let it run. Okay. So I didn't realize that half this display was being blanked out by the lights. It's so difficult to see what you're doing around here, and I can't see the back of the camera very well. I've got to try and fix that up. Anyway, so here we go. It's coming up with 46 milliamp hours, so it's kind of in line with this one. But actually, you know, the truth, they're all kind of in line, right? The display of the current is actually more of a concern. Both these ones here are a little bit lower than this one, and these ones record the milliamp hours a little bit lower than this does, but there you go. This is the only one who measures the current accurately, but it measured the energy a little bit lower than what was actually expected. There it is. As far as specifications go, so this one here, if you look at the back of it, it's got the specifications written on the back. You're probably not going to be able to see this. I can barely see them myself, but it's 3.0 volts to 9 volts. Current is 0 amps to 3.5 amps. and capacity is 0 to 39,999 milliamp hours, or I'd say that's 40 amp hours. And that's what it'll keep track of, and it's got 10 memories, and it's got this nice little dongle here. So I like this one the best. This one here doesn't have the information stamped on it, but it does come with some information in the AliExpress ad. And it says it's from 4 to 20 volts, from 0 to 3 amps, and 0 to 9,999 milliamp hours, or 10 amp hours it'll keep track of. And the time it'll keep track of 0 to 99 hours 59 minutes. And this is I guess the same kind of specifications. It's written on the back here. So it's 4 to 30 volts instead of 4 to 20 volts, so it's a little bit better on the voltage. 0 to 6.5 amps. And it doesn't say the capacities as far as milliamp hours or total time, but I would imagine they're similar to this one or better. So my rating on these would be, this would be the best, this would be next, and this would be next. They're all going to be handy devices. I think they're all pretty close. They're all, they're all very acceptable for the kind of thing that you're using them for. Okay, folks, I hope you got something out of this. I did. I'll reach for this one first, and if I need to use 2 or 3 at a time, I'll use that one next, and then I'll use this one. I have them all here to use. But if I ever go on the road or something like that, it's definitely going to be this one I'll take with me because of the 10 memories. And I like the form factor a lot better. And do I think it's worth, 7 times the price? Yeah, considering it's only $15, I think it is. Thanks a lot for joining me today, guys. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.